Take a second to think about maple syrup. You're probably thinking pancakes, oatmeal, those breakfast treats that just need a little extra sweetness on top. But now take a second to think about where that maple syrup's coming from exactly. If you're like most people, right now you're thinking about Vermont, Canada, and that makes a lot of sense. According to a February 2014 Columbus Dispatch article by Steve Stevens, maple syrup is actually only produced in North America, specifically up in that Great Lakes region. But up in that region is a little known town called Chardon, which has actually been churning out maple-inspired products for well over 100 years. You've probably never heard of Chardon though, so what's the big deal? Well, if you love maple syrup, you're going to want to put Chardon on your map. I grew up in Chardon, and I have been eating maple treats my entire life as a result. And Chardon certainly has some of the more original ideas that I've ever seen. Chardon really offers a plethora of unique maple-inspired treats that will satisfy even the sweetest sweet tooth. From products at Richard's Maple to a maple porter, and even to a unique treat that you're probably only going to find at the city's Maple Festival in the spring, Chardon really offers up a little bit of something for everyone in terms of maple syrup. Start with Richard's Maple. Hit up this spot first because it's going to have the widest range of maple treats and some of the more unique things that you're ever going to see. The business has been selling maple-inspired treats to Chardon and its visitors since 1910, according to the business's website. And it really has found some unique twists to put on maple syrup. It has maple candy, maple sugar, a maple cream, all not so original ideas, but delicious. But if you want something a little bit different that still gives you those maple undertones you want, try Richard's maple honey, maple mustard, or maple barbecue sauce. It's got all of them, and they're just really unique ways to take on maple syrup, and that's what you're going to find at Richard's. Every single attempt at making maple syrup work with something, and you're going to enjoy it. And if you move from Richard's to Chardon Brew Works, you're going to find the maple porter that Chardon has now kind of started becoming famous for. As it's a porter, it's a rich, dark beer, but it has a lot of maple undertones inspired by the city's love for maple syrup. And if you're looking for an adult way to imbibe in maple syrup, moving away from maybe that sugary sweetness on your pancakes, a maple porter is where you want to go. It gives you the maple flavor that you want, but it's not quite so sweet, and hey, it's a beer, so you can enjoy it in a more adult way when you want some maple syrup. And if you move from Chardon Brew Works up to the town square, you'll find a treat during the Maple Festival there that I don't think you'll find anywhere else. It's called a maple stir, and it's an original idea that I have yet to find anywhere else in the world wherever I've seen maple syrup. Every year, the town hosts a maple festival, the Geauga County Maple Festival. And according to the festival's website, that's been happening since 1926. And every year they erect a sugar shack where they produce the town's maple syrup. And that's where the idea from the maple stir came from. To produce maple syrup, you need hundreds of gallons of sap, and you heat it up and you boil it down into just 1 gallon of maple syrup, according to DeBellis's 2013 article, Tapping into the Sweetest Resource. And that process inspired the maple stir, where you heat maple syrup up and you just stir it and you stir it and you keep stirring it, and eventually it hardens and becomes this smooth, sort of creamy maple concoction. Nothing else but maple syrup in it, and it's just really, really unique, and it's a really great way to enjoy some maple syrup, get that sweetness into your life. So if you're looking for a unique way to enjoy maple syrup, go to Chardon. You can find those original products that you'll get from Richard's that have been created for at least 100 years at this point. You can find a newer take on maple with a maple porter. You can find that uniquely Chardon treat, the maple stir, and all of these are just a few of the ways you can enjoy maple syrup if you had Chardon. Chardon certainly offers up the most maple-inspired treats that I've ever seen. And so next time you're heading to the store and getting ready to buy some maple syrup, check and see if you're finding any from Chardon, and maybe make some room on your shelf for some Chardon maple products. And here is my card.